Hi guys! Welcome back to my channel. This is Dakilang. Hi guys! Naka-aura si Dakilang kasi may pupuntahan akong event. Ngayon kasi yung awarding ng Dakilang Manggagawang Pilipino sa UAA 2021. So, nauna na yung partner ko. Susunod na lang ako. So, ngayon, naka-aura ako. Naghihintay lang ako ng oras. Kasi hindi ako pwedeng maagang umalis. Kailangan. So, ito yung outfit ko for today. Ito yung in-order ko sa DOD. Tapos, ito yung square pants, tapos rubber shoes lang. So, may ano ako dito. Pack! Diba? May blazer. Diba? Ganun lang siya, guys.
1 hour later.
That's fried rice. Marami akong 100. Hello, roasted chicken.
A few moments later.
Our very own content, following Cortez to give us an inspirational message. Not necessary content.
Magandang afternoon sa iyo. Good evening. Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
I know that photo was taken 6.5 years ago. After when I first arrived, I still look I look the same. Do I?
Yes,
I'm about to.
You don't give them now.
No. Hello. Right there. I'm about to end my tour of duty at the end of this month, and I would like to say it's been a whirlwind of a 6.5-year tour dito po sa Dubai, and I have all praises for this place and the Filipino community here. Especially, I've learned so much from each and every one of the members of the diaspora, the Filipino community here, knowing that there are things that I did not understand when I first got here, and now I have a deeper appreciation of what overseas migration is all about. Let me just give you a little background that I did back home in Manila before coming here. I was a director at our ASEAN office in the DFA, and I was also representative of the Philippines to what we call the ASEAN Intergovernmental Commission on Human Rights, ICHR. Now, in that commission, we will talk about migration, the rights of migrants, and we were trying to espouse what it means for the Philippines to fight for the Filipino migrant communities abroad. And of course, we would talk about health issues, education issues, labor rights, and so forth and so on. But remember, prior to that office, I spent 7 years in Europe and 7 years in the United States, where human rights and all these things that we're talking about is taken for granted. If everybody knows what it is. So flash forward when I first got here, all those times that I was drafting speeches, interventions, or statements that I should be reading in front of a panel of other diplomats fighting for human rights, then I realized how different it is to write about migration, to write about migrant workers and their rights, and to actually face it face to face. Yung nakakasalamuha ko ba yung mga tao, iba yun sa pinagsusulat ko. And by then, I realized how different and how difficult the realities are, especially if we talk about grand things like human rights, labor rights, mobility issues, and so forth and so on. Because when I got to Dubai, and when I got to speak to the Filipinos here, asking for help from me, hoping that I, or our office at least, would be able to help them in whatever concerns they have, then I realized how different and difficult the life of overseas Filipinos are. It's not just a question of spending and spending money back home. It's a question of being psychologically and mentally sound and keeping yourself together while being away from a family, chasing a dream that seems to be so far away back home. And this is exactly what my takeaway is for our overseas Filipinos and the 10 Dakilang Manggagawang Filipino awardees. Kayo ho. Every now and then, my wife and I discuss what it means for the overseas Filipinos, for the diaspora. We talk about professionals, we talk about entrepreneurs, we talk about all types of Filipinos, those working in the malls, those working at home, those working with other offices and companies, and what it means, ano ba yung common experience ng Filipinos overseas. And obviously, it means quite a number of things. Remittances, 2, their families, 3, their dreams, not for themselves, but for their families back home and for their country. And these are the recurring the recurring issues and concerns that I know many overseas Filipinos and the rest of the other ethnicities and nationalities as well would think about pag iniisip nila yung buhay nila bilang overseas Filipinos. And this, I do hope, with the newfound respect that I have for Dakilang and for Filipinos, lalo-lalo yung 10 Dakilang Manggagawang Pilipino natin, baon ko naman to. This is what I bring with me as I go back home to the DFA and assume my post as Assistant Secretary for Migrant Workers. So kung ano yung ginagawa ko in Dubai for the past 6.5 years, gagawin ko naman back home, hindi lamang pero para sa mga tao, para sa mga Filipinos in Dubai, but for the rest of the Filipinos all over the world. And this, I could say, with all conviction, everybody else can be a writer or be assigned at the Philippine Embassy in Geneva, where the International Organization for Migration has its headquarters, but none, I guess, would be the best, would be better as far as training ground for migration issues is concerned than here in Dubai, UAE. And this, I have to say, thank you to Pinas Cargo for inviting me. I guess this will be one of the last few moments that I would have with the overseas Filipino community as we end our tour of duty itong October na ito. Thank you for coming up for a Dakilang Filipino Manggagawa award and ceremony. They deserve not just a plaque. They deserve not just posts on Facebook, but they deserve the attention of policymakers for us to understand and to live exactly what it means to be a fighter for the diaspora, for the overseas Filipinos. So thank you so much again. God bless you. Congratulations to all of you. And you keep on inspiring other Filipinos and keep on telling your consulate that this is exactly what your priority should be, ang mga dakilang Pilipinong manggagawa tulad ninyo. Salamat.
Thank you so much. It was extremely inspirational. I couldn't agree more to what Conjan said. The text is very small, so I will be reading it from my phone itself. So the reading says, Madayao, on behalf of the city government of Davao, I would like to extend my warmest greetings to Pinas Cargo Company and the nominees for the first ever Dakilang Manggagawang Pilipino in the UAE 2021 event. Indeed, as we transcend this pandemic, you, our overseas Filipino workers, OFWs, continue to support your families and continue to contribute to the Philippine economy despite the physical and mental costs you endure abroad during this trying time. And we thank and salute you for all the hard work and sacrifice. Kudos on your exemplary work ethic and on the support you provide to your employees and fellow kababayans who are in need. You are truly our modern day heroes. To Pinas Cargo, I am grateful for your timely recognition for our OFWs by showcasing their narratives of challenges and victories and honoring their integrity and resiliency. It's a long message. At this event highlights the feats and our unsung heroes in the UAE. May this serve as a beacon of inspiration to the OFWs around the world, to your families in the Philippines and to the rest of the Filipinos. Together, let us outshine the darkness that this COVID pandemic has brought to our world and look forward to safer, stronger, and more resilient global community. Signed, Mayor Sarah DUTERTE, daghang salamat.